Welcome back to another episode of the Don't Overthink It podcast. My name is Brett James, and I'm joined by my co-host, James ChillTakes, with me here today. James, it's been a couple weeks since we've gotten the podcast out.
A month.
It's been almost a month.
It's been a month.
I think it's 4 weeks.
Yeah,
I think today would have made the fourth week, actually.
Yeah, we were supposed to have an episode last week, man, and the audio messed up on us.
Yeah, we've been just having some problems, man, with the pod, but hopefully things are back on course, getting ready to go, firing up, because we're right now in the Eastern Conference Finals, Western Conference Finals. Game 1 just concluded last night for the ECF. WCF starts tonight, Dallas at Golden State. But we got a full NBA slate of the podcast here again today. The topics we'll be talking about is Patrick Beverly joining Get Up and ESPN's First Take this week, joining JJ Redick and Stephen A. Smith. He had a lot of comments to say specifically about an all-time great in Chris Paul, so we'll get into that. We'll be talking about James Harden, if he deserves the SuperMax this offseason, and will he be getting one from the Philadelphia 76ers. We'll obviously be talking about the Eastern Conference Finals and the Western Conference Finals. We'll be talking about the biggest disappointment and the biggest surprise so far in this postseason, and that goes for both players and teams. Then we'll kind of end it off with the NBA Draft Lottery, as our Orlando Magic landed the number 1 overall pick in last night's NBA 2022 lottery draft. So, Darren, we're going to get this thing started and fired off talking about Pat Bev. Like I said, he had a lot of comments to say this week, talking about guys like Chris Paul, Steph Curry, and a couple other guys in the NBA. A lot of criticism. Yeah. A lot of takes there. Yeah. Give me your analysis and what were you thinking about Patrick Beverly and everything he had to say this week.
I did find it funny how you just said our Orlando Magic, though. I'm not a Magic.
Did I say our? I thought I said my Orlando Magic.
Nah, you said our.
Oh, my bad. Okay, I thought I said my Orlando
Magic. Cool. Don't get me wrong. They like 2 hours away from the city of Jacksonville. I'm gonna go to the games more often if they do get payload. We're gonna talk about that later.
I'll be down in the UCF, bro. So you pull up
for sure. If they get payload, I'll be making some more appearances because I like his game. I think he fits well with the Magic. But anyways,
Chet better.
Hell no. Hell no.
We'll get into that later.
Yeah, for sure. I got a take on Chet too, by the way. Which is not bad. But yeah, Patrick Beverly, man, I say this. I made a TikTok about it. I said this is the most action from like social media that ESPN has gotten in a very long time. They're with their car shows, right? Get Up, NBA Today, First Take. You know, they haven't had a good guest on their little lineup for a very long time.
Yeah. They get bums.
Yeah, they get some sound bites from Kendrick Perkins, right? All that Carry On and the Mad Max dude, he's terrible.
Mad Russo,
yeah, whatever he is.
Mad Dog.
Yeah, Mad Dog.
Mad Dog Russo.
Mad Max is a movie, but yeah, Mad Dog Russo, he's terrible, man. So they had him on today. Actually, I didn't watch it because
we all miss Max Kellerman, man. That's what.
For sure.
That's what we miss.
Or even Skip Bayless. I mean,
even Skip, but that's way far in the past.
That is
even a relative time, man. But we miss Max Kellerman.
Kellerman was definitely a nice piece, man. So, but they had the world on notice, which is very good because you need to make some headline news during the playoffs. And, out of all people, they brought Patrick Beverly on the show. And he had a lot of things to get off his chest. Some things I agree with, some things I do not.
Okay.
I think the biggest thing was the Chris Paul one, of course, right? He was talking crazy.
He was. Yeah, he definitely
He was saying that Chris Paul is, in his words, when people view Chris Paul, they lick their chops. He's a cone. He's a cone drill. He doesn't move. He's a liability. Said a lot of crazy things. Now, I do believe some things he said was true. Chris Paul definitely played terrible those last 3 games, right? We all knew an injury was going to get announced. It did. They said he had a quad injury, right? He is what he is when it comes to stuff in the playoffs. He just can't get over these humps. He's never going to win the championship unless he adapts a role player role and unless he goes ring chasing.
Right.
And I do believe he should have been benched at times during this postseason, or during that last series at least, right?
It's hard to bench an all-time great.
It is hard to bench him, but I think Monty Williams is the head coach. If he's coach of the year, right? And I want to say something about coach of the year real quick. Both Monty and Taylor Jenkins showed their ass that last series, man. They didn't really coach well at all. The real coaches like Eric Spoelstra
and Ime Udoka,
even Steve Kerr,
even Budenholzer at times,
Jason Kidd. Yeah, they have been.
Jason Kidd.
They're in the promise, or they're one step away from getting to the finals, man. So, and they've been the better coaches in the playoffs. But anyways, I think Monty Williams as a head coach had 2 things to really decipher in that last series. Was one, getting DeAndre Ayton the ball more, which they didn't do, which is why Ayton didn't want to play that last game, which is, in my opinion, some
they're gonna hold against him.
that's some soft stuff, man. But and also like you gotta look at your point guard, man. Seeing you have to find other ways to get other players involved, man. I think it's unfortunate they didn't have another guard to come off the bench because Cam Payne was playing so bad.
Mm-hmm.
But I think they honestly should have put the ball more in Devin Booker's hands. Let him orchestrate the offense. He's done it all season. He's done it in the past. He's a great facilitator. And I think they should have been moving more towards him. Having Landry Shamet playing at 2, Mikal playing at 3, 4 Jay Crowder, and 5 being 8. And I think they should have some more sets with that. But they didn't, and they ended up costing them. So, I do agree with that with Patrick Beverly. I also agree that Chris Paul has a lot of antics, man. They're very annoying. He is a very, very annoying player. And sometimes they're egregious, man. Pushing guys in midair, the ticky-tack calls he always gets away with. I mean, Patrick Beverly said in some of those games that he should have fouled out more because he's always initiating crazy calls. I mean, there was one video I posted that he was running up court. Jalen Brunson had the ball in his hands. He was going up court, and Chris Paul was defending him. And Chris Paul pulled his own arm. Close to Jalen Brunson to initiate an offensive foul call on Brunson, and they called it on Brunson. It's like stuff like that. Like I know you let them manipulate the game. It's fun and all, man, but that stuff is ugly. Like it's not good basketball, bro, in my opinion, bro. He does it way too often. And I respect Chris Paul. He's one of the greatest to ever do it at his position. But I mean, the basketball guys are they're gonna come through eventually, man.
So was all the criticism fair?
Absolutely, man.
Okay.
Absolutely. I mean, I saw a lot of talk about Chris Paul's finally gonna do it this season. He's a better point guard than Steph Curry. You know what I'm saying? He's gonna be able to get his Finals MVP, or he's the heart and the soul of the Suns. The Suns can't go far without him. And he cost them, bro. I mean, you can say that he played well in the Pelican series, but I expect that out of a number 1 seed going against a playing team, which they damn near lost to them. They was on the ropes with them, so he deserves criticism. In this offseason, if I'm James Jones, or whatever his name is in the front office.
James Jones,
yeah.
It's James Jones.
I'm looking okay.
He carried LeBron until those finals in Miami. And in Cleveland.
Yeah.
Remember that.
Yeah, I mean, I'm looking at James Jones. It's like, okay, well, Chris, like, what can you do this offseason to really, rewrite this narrative? Like, you're 37, you're showing your age now. Yeah. You are a liability on defense now. You're not like what you used to be. You're not an all-time.
Even the offense is low-key slipping.
The low-key, yeah, exactly. So, what's going to happen, right? And I think, they need to look at possibly trading him away, maybe. Trading, for... I don't know. They need to do something, man. I would love to see
Malcolm Brogdon. I don't know.
Brogdon, Jalen Brunson in the offseason, which I'm pretty sure they're not because Brunson and Booker, they're not friends at all. I would love to see them try to get Kyrie, but we'll see. I think that would be a dangerous combination. Book and Kyrie.
Yeah. Oh, Book and Kyrie, man, for 30 games, bro. Ooh, you telling me 30 games? Sheesh. They just might go 18-12 in that stretch, bro. My God.
Nah, but I mean,
watch out.
I'm just saying, man. I mean, there's some things Patrick Beverly crossed the line on. Like, I don't like him name dropping other players like Sam Paul, George, and other players.
Yeah.
They know about the Suns. Don't name drop, man. Keep yourself in it. So don't bring anybody else into it. At times he was hating, because Chris Paul is definitely better than him. Like, it's not even close.
I mean,
right?
Pat's not an all-time great.
Yeah, and Patrick Beverly is not even like a point guard that I'll even consider in my top 15 guys, top 20.
Nah, he's just a very good, valuable commodity to any team that wants to win. I mean, he's a player that everyone needs on their team in order to win. Mikal Bridges, Jay Crowder, PJ Tucker, a Pat Bev, those kind of guys.
Pat Bev doesn't really move the needle too much, man. He's cool. Don't get me wrong, man. But I mean, I respect it, man. Yeah. But at the same time, like, this is definitely going to be a target on Patrick Beverly's back next year when it comes if he does face the Suns.
I don't think so. Well, maybe versus the Suns, but that's about it. I mean, Pat Bev's always had that kind of target on him.
Definitely he has. But I will say, he is not wrong about NBA players not messing with Chris Paul. A lot of people don't want to mess with him, dog. Like, he is a very dirty player, man. So, and a lot of fans don't like Chris Paul either. Yeah. Like, even though he doesn't talk trash, it's just the stuff he does on the court, man. Right. It's very ugly.
So, my takeaway is difficult, man. So, I've grown up a big Chris Paul and Rajon Rondo were my two biggest influences, like, growing up. Point guards, like I mesmerized watching Rajon Rondo and Chris Paul growing up. So it was hard for me to, like, really get on him. And it's kind of the same thing if I'm making an NFL comparison with Aaron Rodgers. Like, I mean, we grew up in this era, in this generation of, like, just idolizing a guy like Aaron Rodgers, the type of talent that he is at the quarterback position, one of the all-time greats. He's not the, but he's in the conversation as just one of. And that's kind of why I thought Chris Paul in. But time and time again, they come up short when it matters the most. Chris Paul has blown, 5-2-0 leads now? 5-2-0 leads in the playoffs. He's blown a 3-1 lead in the playoffs. He's
never won a Game 7, I don't think.
Yep. I don't think he's won a Game 7 either. And he's obviously never won a ring. Pat Bev, I do agree with him on 2 comments. He did say, though, and I'm paraphrasing here, that all these superstars, when they don't perform at the highest levels and, like, the highest moments, they get criticized. He's like, well, why does Chris Paul not get that same energy? Yeah. That was something he made very clear. That I agree with. Chris Paul does not get tarnished. He does not get thrown under the bus like a Paul George when he struggles, or a Russell Westbrook. He always struggles. But Russell Westbrook or a Harden, all these other superstars. Exactly. Yeah. All those guys get slandered when they don't perform at the highest levels, but Chris. So he was keeping that real. And then also where I agree with him, too, is the fact that, yeah, he is kind of a dirty player, and like that's something I've always just kind of had to come to terms with, because I've noticed this from his days, obviously with LA and obviously in Houston, because they were beating my Jazz. Well, I guess the Jazz beat the Clippers back in the playoffs when they had ISO Joe. But besides the point, like you grow up watching Chris Paul, and I respect him. He's one of still my favorite players ever. But I just gotta be honest, he's not the clutch guy that'll take a team over the top. Has he been great everywhere he's gone? Yes, he has. Is he dirty? Yeah, he's a pretty damn dirty player. Complains a lot to refs. He gets the benefit of the doubt because refs know that he's an all-time great, and these guys get the calls.
And also, he's the NFL. He was the NBA, vice president of Players
Association. Yeah. So he gets a lot of leeway with that. But where I don't agree with Pat Bev is, like you said, the name calling, more so the bringing other players into this kind of thing too. And also with Pat Bev saying, I make sure, and like I said, I'm paraphrasing here. When I go to Phoenix, he goes, I can stay up all night. He's like, I can go to T44. I can go get a steak, get a nice thing of wine, whatnot. I can go to bed at 11. I'm cool. I'm playing Chris Paul next morning. He's like, I'll play on Steph Curry. He's like, nah. He's like, I'm going to bed at 8 a.m. My wife, my daughter, don't call me. I'm locked in. Like, when guys play Steph Curry, I'm locked in. Chris Paul, he's like, it's a different game. He's like, you don't have that same level of respect for him.
Yeah, but
he's like, guys lock in on that when they play the Suns.
Yeah. So when I hear stuff like that, my bad, I mean to cut you off.
No, good, go for it.
And I'm not about to say the actual exact term, but that sounds like he's riding him. That's riding Steph Curry, right? Yeah. That's like that's OD riding. Like why you going that far, bro? Like I get Steph Curry's a great player. But I feel like you should feel the same way about Chris.
I feel like he's kind of got a
point. He does, but like
Steph Curry does, I think, I don't want to say more for his team than Chris Paul does, but it's hard to argue with the impact that Steph Curry's made over the last decade of basketball and how he's literally revolutionized the game. That it's like, when you're scared that a guy will literally cross half court and he's a threat, and that's why the floor's so spaced, because you have to respect that. With Chris Paul, you don't got to worry about that. You're not worried about Chris Paul pulling up from 35 on you.
That's true, but he's saying he's talking like Chris Paul's a bum.
I think he's talking like that, and even though Chris Paul can put up numbers on Pat, and he's done his thing to Pat in the past, it's hard to justify exactly what he said, but I understand where he's coming from with the whole Steph Curry parallel.
I get it.
Because I really feel like Steph Curry's a lot more scary of a player to go up against.
For sure.
Like, you might fear Aaron Rodgers, but you might fear Lamar in a whole different light, because Lamar can kill you with his arm, but he's going to kill you with his legs.
For sure.
No matter what. And it's like, there's almost nothing you can do about it. Damned if you do, damned if you don't.
For sure.
And that's kind of like where I would see Steph Curry, Lamar, Chris Paul, Aaron Rodgers. I know that's maybe not a perfect parallel, but that's kind of like how I would view it.
Yeah.
That's just kind of where I'm at with that.
Yeah, I mean, like I said, I agree with a lot of things he said. And I agree, like some things I was like, damn, you kind of hating, but at the same time, like you said, bro, if you get on social media, Chris Paul gets his criticism for sure. But if you go into like the landscape of like his peers and like what ESPN does, like I saw players tweeting out like they feel bad for Chris Paul. He deserves it. Like, bro,
no.
Why? What makes him deserve it more than Luka? What makes him deserve it more than Steph Curry? Like, why? Just because you feel bad for him? Like, F that, bro. Like, he's a competitor. He's not doing. He's
all
not.
These guys are competitors.
Exactly. They're all competitors. They all have one goal in common. They're trying to get a championship. It doesn't say like, oh yeah, we feel bad for him. Let's get him there. No, bro. He has to perform at the highest level, and he's shown time and time again he cannot do that. So, I mean, it is what it is. That's just his narrative, right? And I think there's a huge gap between him and Steph Curry. Like,
at this point, there's a significant.
Yeah, there's a significant gap. I mean, I don't care if he is 37, like because when Chris Paul was 34 years old, he was doing the same stuff, falling short. You know what I'm saying?
In Houston, he wasn't getting them over the top, or he was injured.
Exactly.
In Game 7 on their home court.
Yeah, I mean, there's like when it comes down to, I know it's a team game. He's a very great point guard. You know, he's a floor general. But you know what I'm saying, like
quintessential point guard, as Stephen A would say.
Exactly. He is a very phenomenal. He's a future Hall of Famer. All that and more, bro. But like, it just isn't enough. Like, when it comes down to it, like, it's not even about a bucket because he is a bucket. He just doesn't have that in him. Like, we've seen it way too many times.
And the gap with Steph Curry and Chris Paul is it's not even just this year anymore in terms of age and whatnot.
It's his career.
Steph Curry has at least 3 more years of playing, at bare minimum, I would say, of playing somewhat close to an MVP level.
Yeah.
I would say, like, and then you still get some, decent years out of Steph.
Yeah.
I'd say he's still got 3 MVP caliber type of seasons left in him if he remains healthy.
Yeah.
And I foresee that.
And Chris Paul played like an MVP this year.
And he did.
What I'm saying?
And he did.
And but when it comes down to accolades, like, Steph has him by everything. Steph has the MVPs,
except for the defensive players.
That's all he has over
all defense teams.
That's all he has, bro. And you know what I'm saying, and the assisting too. But like, bro, like, I'm sorry.
Steph Curry's impact.
So where would you rank Chris Paul in the top 5 point guards of all time?
He's not in the top 5.
He's not in your top 5.
He's not in my top 5. No, he was never in my top 5. He might have been pushing 5. He was never in my top 5. In no order, I'd throw Isaiah, Magic, John, Oscar, and no Russell Westbrook. He's not a top 5 point guard ever.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know. I'd have to sit and ponder on it. Steph. Yeah, Steph. Thank you.
Okay, so that's
5. We were just talking. Yeah. That would be in my top 5 right there too. And I'm a little biased towards John Stockton, so I probably got him at like.
Oh no, ain't no bias. That's real.
Yeah,
he leads the league in
all-time steals and assists
by a wide margin.
No one. I don't think anyone is ever going to break that. I think there's such a significant gap between. I mean, maybe we'll see, but like. The gap between Jason Kidd and Stockton at 1 and 2 is like over 3,000.
Yeah.
Or it's like pushing 3,000. It's like
that's huge crazy. Gap. And Jason Kidd was one of the greatest floor generals of all time.
Yeah. So I mean, that would be in my top 5. Thank you, Steph. I was like, we were just talking about it. But I just got to call it like what it is, and that's how I'm feeling about Chris Paul right now. And it's just the truth.
The Suns are. We'll talk about that more often about biggest disappointments, but the Suns are in a very, very soul-searching area right now, man, because I'm looking at the next year, they possibly could be losing 8 in this offseason.
They might not even be a playoff team next year.
Let's just keep it real.
They literally could not even
keep it a buck. Like they're going to.
The West has gotten a lot better.
Yeah, exactly. If they are a playoff team, they're in the middle of the pack team.
They're a 7 seed. They're a 7 seed.
Yeah, they might be a play-in. You know what I'm saying? But this is when you expect someone like Devin Booker to take the next step. Right,
next step, right?
Yes, he has to be. Now he has to be okay.
Now he has to take that Jason Tatum step.
Exactly. You finished top 4 in MVP. Okay, we need you to finish top 2.
Yep.
Exactly. We need you to be. You making a case you gonna win it this year.
Embiid and Jokic. You need to be 1A, 1A.
And I think he can do it. You know what I'm saying? He's still young. He has plenty of time. He's 25 years old. He'll be 26 later on this year.
Which is crazy. It feels like Booker's been playing for.
But he's been
forever.
He's been in the league. I've been out of high school for 7 years now, going on 7. So yeah.
I think he's been in since 2016. Was it 2016 or 15 he came? I think 16.
I think 16 as well, or 15. I think he came out a year before I graduated high school.
Okay, so it might have been 15.
So he's been in the league for 7 years now.
That's crazy, bro. It feels like he's been in like for an eternity. Because he was even playing with Tyler Ulis and Dragic and
he was playing with Cat and them. Because remember he came off the bench at Kentucky.
Yeah. No, I was just talking like Phoenix when Phoenix was dog. But last thing I want to say about the whole point guard thing, Chris Paul, before we move on to James Harden, is I've been seeing people say, this is a whole topic for another day, Russell Westbrook all time is better than Chris Paul. No, he's not. No, he's not. Stop. No. Chris Paul is an all-time, and I mean, Russell Westbrook sure is an all-time great too, but Russell Westbrook all-time ahead of Chris Paul, just down, that is atrocious. That is a horrible take in my eyes. I don't think it's far off.
Yeah.
I don't think it's like there's such a discrepancy where if someone was to say Russell Westbrook's a top 5 point guard, I would say no. Just stop talking.
I think these later years for Russ have been very, very like head scratching because his efficiencies, the way he plays, his IQ has dwindled.
Even his MVPs, they're just so deceiving. Even though you have to give him that, and I give him that, right? He averaged triple-double 4 out of 5 years.
That's very hard.
I get it. And he was an MVP in 2016-17. I give him that. I acknowledge it. I'm not taking anything away from it. All I'm saying is that Chris Paul all-time is higher than Russell Westbrook. I don't think it's a huge margin. If I'm just throwing a number out there, let's just say I put Chris Paul at like 7 or 8, right? Let's just say. I would probably have Russell Westbrook probably somewhere around like 11 or 12. Maybe even 13 or 14.
I think he's top 10.
I don't think he's top 10. The numbers are way too glamorous. People get way too enamored with numbers.
But you gotta look. I mean, that's what we had to present.
But I get it. But I think context really has to matter, bro. I don't respect Russell Westbrook's triple doubles maybe the way, and I never did, the way a lot of people did at the time, even when he did it for a full season, the first time he did it and won MVP. Because when you just study that season, bro, Steven Adams would literally walk away from the basket, let him get a rebound.
That's true, but like, also it's
just I don't efficiency. He was more efficient.
That's when the conversation comes into your stat padding.
He's been stat padding his entire career since KD left.
That's cool.
That's not
for sure. But the way Billy Donovan had that offense constructed,
there we go. He let Russell Westbrook go 94 feet.
Exactly.
Every time.
Because we knew we were at a very good chance. If you get the board and you're out.
Yes.
If Steven Adams gets the board, even if if him just grabbing the board and Russell like having to scan the floor, it's gonna take a step back from what they can do on offense. If Russell can grab the board and he's out, that's a part of it. So
and Westbrook was the dead last ranked perimeter.
Oh yeah. He
guard
didn't defend
defender.
The 3. He didn't defend the 3. Yeah, for sure.
In the league for like years.
Yeah,
he was always. Russell Westbrook's finished top 2 in turnovers every single year. I think since coming into the league, since being something like, I mean,
I wonder,
numbers don't lie, but context matters. Chris Paul is not lower on the all-time point guard list than Russell Westbrook.
So we've seen 2 players be Mr. Triple Double. Well, we haven't seen it, but we've seen one in our era of basketball.
And
then
the 60s.
The 60s with Oscar Robertson. I really wonder how that was. I wonder. Obviously, the 3-point was available back then, but I wonder if they had a 3-point line back then. I wonder if he was camping out.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? I wonder if he was, okay, you guys shoot, I'm going to grab the board, we're going to get out. I wonder how that was back then, because I'm pretty sure it was the same.
It quite possibly could have been, and obviously the game changes over time.
It does. But
I still respect the fact that, I mean, I don't know if anyone's ever going to average triple 4 out of 5 years. Just guys in the NBA are too good nowadays. Role players are great players nowadays.
Yeah.
So
and
it's hard to make that kind of comparison.
And another thing, Tug, I say about Russ, like that's why I'm kind of on the fence with this, because it's kind of like, damn, you know what I'm saying?
But you don't have him higher than Chris Paul all the time, would you? No.
I don't.
Okay.
But I've seen Russ has made 1 finals, right?
One. No, he's made 1, yeah. Russ, Harden,
can't get out
KD
the first round though, man. That's nothing too. Russ can never get out the first round
because he's the most. Well, I'm gonna leave it on this. Russell Westbrook, and I've said this for years since 2017. He's the most overrated superstar in NBA history. I still said he's a superstar, but out of every superstar that's ever coexisted into the NBA, he's been the most overrated one. He was the one that never got the slander until he got to LA. I'm gonna leave it at that.
That's true, because he's doing the same thing he was doing with the Wizards last year,
right?
With LA this year, and people are like, now it's on primetime TV. Like, man, what the hell are you doing?
And AD.
He's doing the same thing last year.
He was doing the same thing in OKC.
Yeah,
he's doing the same thing in Washington. He's doing the same thing in Houston.
It just looks other than the Lakers.
And I've been calling this out since he was an MVP.
I agree with you. I say every time he does something stupid, I say why not? Because the dude plays like a fool.
Yes, why not?
He plays like a fool, man.
Hide your kids, hide your wife when he shoots, bro. When he shoots that ball, hide your kids, hide your wife.
Yeah, he hit the side of the backboard and whatnot, dog.
Crazy, bro. You could put up a 20-minute compilation of his.
I know I'm going on a rant right now with Russ, but like I can't believe people said that Steph is so disrespected, bro. Like people said that Russ was better than Steph.
People said that Russ was better than Dame. I'm sorry.
People say
Russ
that
never been better than
Kyrie
Dame.
was better than Steph. People say that Russ better than Steph. Now they're saying Luka's better than Steph. We're gonna see. We're gonna see, man. But the disrespect for my dog is unruly.
No Steph slander. No babyface assassin slander. But let's get on to the guy that we can slander. Guy who's consistently come up short into the playoffs every single year since he's become a number 1 option or a number 2 option, I guess, in Philadelphia now. James Harden himself, the beard, one of the greatest 2 guards to have ever played the game. One of the most prolific
the third.
offensive players this game has ever seen. Mm-hmm. James Harden is eligible for SuperMax this offseason from Daryl Morey, both of Philadelphia 76ers. He can opt into his $47 million deal this offseason too, which he could get from the Philadelphia 76ers, which would push back the SuperMax another year. Mm-hmm. But he is eligible for it if he declines it. And he can get a 5-year, $280 million deal from the Philadelphia 76ers. Darian, will James Harden get a SuperMax, yes or no? And also, does he deserve a SuperMax, yes or no? Your thoughts?
Does he get it? That's tough, man. That's very tough. I think Daryl Morey loves...
The Sixers are the only team that can offer him a SuperMax, of course.
Daryl Morey loves James Harden. That is his partner, man. I mean, and it really plateaued Daryl Morey to like what he is known as, you know, a great general manager, because he traded for James Harden. Yep. And it worked out very well for him, right? Twice, yeah.
Well, I mean, I guess it didn't work out great the second time, but
yeah,
it did.
Yeah. So, damn, this is very hard, bro. Like, from what we've seen the last 3 seasons with James, man, has not been good basketball, bro. I think this season was worse than last year's. Last year, he was playing a lot better than, like, before he had that quad injury. And it's crazy because you can't let the offseason go by and then pay him, because he can show you. Because I think, honestly, he needs to put in work to fix his body.
And it's that hamstring. I think it's been a lingering issue.
That too. Man. But you need to have some type of way. It's kind of like with AD now. Like, AD needs to work on his body as well. Like, what can you do better? Eat better, exercise better, work on your lower legs, tendons to get them stronger so you can last, a 70-year season. At least 70 games. 70 games. Yeah. Same thing with Harden, man. Stay out the club. Work on your body. You're 31 years old. However, he's early 30s. Yeah. There's no reason why you should be gassed. You got a couple more years of like prime, bro. You're gassed, bro.
Yeah,
like,
he's gassed in the third quarter.
He's gassed. Steph Curry, he's in the greatest shape of his life. Chris Paul, even though he's 37 years old, I know he had a quad injury. He's still in some phenomenal shape at 37 years old. LeBron James, right? It is so crazy that a superstar player is just dwindling away because he can't take care of his body, man. If you look at all the greats,
it's choice.
It is choice.
It's not like he's having injury after injury after injury.
Yeah, if you look at all the greats, bro, they spend like LeBron. They say LeBron spends like over $2 million on his body. Pretty sure Steph does the same.
Yeah.
Right.
They just don't flap their lip about it. Like
you're not
LeBron
23 and you're not 23 years old anymore, man. Yeah. Like, you played a long time in this league.
He knows, but he has everything readily available. He can get massages every single day from trainers. Bro. He can get all the food. He gets the money from chefs, bro. Whatever it is.
He needs to work on his body, man. Obviously, he looks heavier. You know what I'm saying? He is a big dude. You know what I'm saying? He is kind of like a burly kind of guy. You know what I'm saying? He has good weight on him. But he's a step slower. But even with being a step slower, bro, like in the Paul Pierce years when Paul Pierce got slower, he was never out of shape.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Like, he had post work. He had a mid-range. And that's what I noticed from James Harden. Another thing, too, before I give you the answer if he deserves a SuperMax or not. Fix your body and also work on your game. This isn't 2016 anymore. This isn't 2017. The refs aren't going to bail you out every game. You're not going to be able to lead the year. You're not going to be able to lead the league in free throw attempts.
Right. No more free throw motions.
Exactly. Yeah. Work on your game. Can't live and die by the 3 anymore. Your shot's not falling how it used to be, right? Get your mid-range going. You're 6'6".
That's the one part of his game that's never been there.
It's never been there, bro.
He's never had a mid-range.
He doesn't have a mid-range. Either 3 or drive to the basket.
Every time.
He refuses to shoot mid-range,
He's the definition of analytics. He's the definition of analytics.
He is. He's made up moves, his side steps, like his travels. He can't even do the moves anymore because he's damn slow.
Yeah.
Right? I think James Harden needs to really evaluate himself this offseason. This is a big offseason for him, regardless if he gets paid or not, because it's really going to tell me the truth. Tell me if he's done or not.
Yeah.
Because I think he's on his second strike right now, man. You got one more chance to really show if you're really not that Harden anymore. I'm not even looking for Rockets Harden.
Yeah.
Because Rockets Harden is gone.
Just give me more than 2 shot attempts in a closeout game in Game 6.
You're never averaging over 30 plus again.
Especially if you're with Joel.
Yeah, you're not. Okay, bro, that years is done. Adapt with your former teammates like Chris Paul. If you want to embrace being a floor general, embrace it.
But I still need 25 from you.
Exactly. But 25. I don't think, it's crazy because this year he averaged like what, 22?
22, 9, and 7.
That's great. That's phenomenal numbers for anybody else. But you're Harden. We've seen you average 33.
Yep, context, yep.
You know what I'm saying? But adapt that role and make it look good, make it efficient.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Don't put up tour date numbers. You know what I'm saying? But anyways, needless to say, we say on all this, he might not even do any of that this offseason. I will hope he does, man, because I think he is, you know, he's done a lot of great things in his career. He's going down as probably the 3rd best shooting guard of all time.
Yeah, he'll be there. Yeah, he'll be in that combo. Him,
For
Wade,
sure.
and Michael, and Kobe.
Oh, my bad. He's not the 3rd. He's the 5th.
He's in the conversation. Yeah,
for
he's
sure.
in the conversation.
He's not better than Kobe or Dwayne Wade. But anyways, will he get it? I think the 76ers as an organization, if they get him, they need to be fired. If they give him that, they need to be fired, bro. So the front office, he would not get it.
So they're not going to give him a Supermax. Okay.
No.
Okay.
Does he deserve it? I don't like saying players don't deserve money. I think they deserve to get paid. And he's done a lot of great things in his past. But you're getting paid for now.
Right.
What can you do 5 years for me? As it looks like, you're not going to be able to give me Houston James Harden.
Right.
Even Embiid said in the press conference, we all expected Houston Harden.
He's not that guy.
That is not him anymore.
You're not that guy, pal.
Exactly. But you can very much well be a Supermax player while adapting into a newer role. We've seen with Chris Paul. Those 3 years, he's Supermax.
Yeah.
Unbelievable basketball. Let his
Make
team
Phoenix relevant again. Relevant.
Exactly. So
relevant, yeah.
If you can take a new James Harden and he can, you know what I'm saying?
Dish out 11 assists.
Still
give me 25.
Give you 25. Kill it in the mid-range, right? Get to the free throw line. Play better defensively. You know what I'm saying? Get other guys involved. Elevate his talent. Make life easier for Embiid. And they can get to the Eastern Conference Finals next year, which I don't think they will. Then yes, he deserves it. But I'm not looking at it right now as that. I don't think he's going to be that guy anymore. He doesn't deserve it, man. And I hate to say that because I hate saying players don't deserve their pay. But no, he's not going to get a Supermax. And no, he doesn't deserve it.
Okay. But let me say this, though. No, he does not deserve a Supermax. He did not even close to deserving a Supermax.
Doesn't deserve it.
No. Will he get it? Yes, he will. I don't even think twice. You think that the whole 76ers front office should get fired?
Absolutely.
Elton Brand and Daryl Morey should get fired? No. I disagree. I think that what other option do they have? They have zero other. Their hands are tied behind their back.
They are.
And James Harden has the power. This is us assuming he doesn't opt into his player option, which would make him the highest paid player next season, and then Russell Westbrook would be second, both in their player options. No. James Harden is going to decline his player option. He's going to be eligible for a Supermax. And if the 76ers don't want to give him a Supermax, another 29 other teams will be willing to give him a max contract, obviously, if they can fit that into their cap situation. James Harden is going to get max dollars from some team, and it's going to be the Philadelphia 76ers. They're going to pay him a Supermax deal. They're going to give him $280 million, whether he deserves it or not, because he's still going to be a 22-9-7 guy at bare minimum, I think. He's only 32 years of age. I know we see a slippage. We see he's got the step slower. He's not getting to the rim as much. His three-point shot's not there. That step back's not there. Can he still be James Harden flashes? Yes, we can. But the 76ers are still in this win-now mode because Joel Embiid is healthy. He's finished top 2 league MVP candidate, second consecutive year in a row. They don't have much time with Joel Embiid left. And if James Harden walks because they're so stubborn to say we're not going to give you a Supermax, who's Joel Embiid left with? Tobias Harris is probably gone this offseason. Danny Green's probably gone, and considering retiring, right? Obviously, you got Tyrese Maxey, but Tyrese Maxey's not moving the needle by himself as second A. Tyrese Maxey's a number 3 as of right now. Mm-hmm. So the 76ers, after everything that they gave up to get James Harden, just to be like, well, we'll take you for half a season, and you didn't show up when it mattered the most. You took 2 shots in a closeout game on our home court in the second half. Sorry. They are going to give him the Supermax. I've already accepted it. The 76ers will still be relevant. They'll still be a top contender in the Eastern Conference. And James Harden, it's upon him to be that second option, and I think that he will be. But Daryl Morey and them will be giving the 76ers and James Harden a max contract.
So I want to talk about a few things you said right there. If they give him the Supermax... Man, that's tough, bro.
They got no other option. They're gonna give him the Supermax.
If they don't, and he decides to leave,
he's gone. He's not taking obviously a max contract from him.
But Joel Embiid should request a trade.
Oh yeah, of course,
for sure. And so they should rebuild that team back up
around Tyrese Maxey,
and
honestly,
maybe
I trade,
Tobias.
Bro, honestly, I trade Thibault at that point if they're going to trade Embiid.
Trade Thibault, bro.
He's got some value, but I know
he stinks.
Most overrated, elite, quote unquote defender.
Bro,
in the game.
Ben Simmons made him.
Yeah,
I'm not gonna lie. Ben Simmons made life a lot easier for him, bro.
Yeah,
he is not good. He's a liability out there, man. He
Even
can't
on offense.
He can't score. He's
really not.
He's not that good a defender. He's a good defender against smaller players. If he's going against Jimmy Butler, Jimmy's gonna put him in a basket.
Yeah,
because he's just as big as him, right? But yeah, I mean, if he does get the Supermax, shout out to Hoops and Brews, man. They're a great show with Pavi and TPJ and a few other guys over there. But Pavi said if James Harden gets the Supermax, there's gonna be a lockout. That's what's gonna lock the league out, man. Because you're looking at the way contracts are constructed right now. What has he done in the past 3 years to give him a Supermax? Like that's gonna you're looking at players gonna start requesting ungodly contracts after that, bro. Like you thought the leagues were getting paid. Now you think Andrew Wiggins has a bad contract? Oh my God. Wait till someone like Anthony Simmons gets qualified for a contract.
Anthony Simons is not getting no Supermax.
If James Harden is playing like that, I'm asking for a max.
James Harden is an all-time great who has bounced to 3 different teams in the last 2 seasons now. But
we're paying him for... He's getting paid...
He's not getting paid on resume. He's also getting paid on production. Has his production slipped? Yes. But James Harden, with his slippage, is better than 85% of the league. Is that not a fact?
I don't know, dog. He's not a...
Come on.
Was he a top 10 player right now?
No.
Is he a top 15 player right now?
No. Is he top 20? Yes.
I don't know.
Yes, he's a top 20 player.
If you put anybody in that position with the Philadelphia 76ers right now, out of the 20 guys in the league, I bet they advance. Or even throw up a better fight. Or just play better.
Yeah.
Overall.
Okay. I think if you would have replaced Donovan Mitchell with James Harden in the playoffs with Joel Embiid,
for sure.
Different game.
They're cooking.
Yeah.
They're cooking.
They're in the Eastern Conference Finals.
For sure.
But... no. James Harden's still a top 20 player. James Harden at 80% right now is better than 80% of the league. James Harden, come on. Let's keep this real. He's going to get his money. The Sixers don't have another option unless they just want to trade everybody, which means that they'd have to trade Embiid because Embiid's not just going to be the only guy out there. So it's either blow the whole team up and trust the process again, or it's suck it up. He's 32 years of age. He's still an all-time great. He's still giving you 22, 9, and 7. So I don't see any of the options the Sixers have. You're paying him. Their hands are tied behind their back.
Well, if he gets to Supermax this season, he needs to put in the work, bro. Like, you have to put in the work. I mean, it's gonna go down as one of the nastiest, worst contracts of all time, bro. Like, if he doesn't pan out. Like, we need Eastern Conference Finals appearance. I'm sorry.
No, that's the bare minimum.
We need another All-Star.
Yeah.
We need you to be we need at least conversation for third team All-NBA.
Yeah, I agree.
If you're a Supermax player, bro,
he should be in the third team All-NBA bare minimum.
For sure. Steph Curry got a Supermax this past season because he balled out last year.
Because Steph Curry is still Steph Curry.
Exactly.
He's an all-time great.
Exactly.
And even with some... I know he didn't slip up last year, but I'm saying, like, even if Steph Curry was to slip up a little bit this year, bro, you'd be like, dude, he's Steph Curry.
Yeah, he's still a top 5 player in his league.
Yeah. So, yeah. No, Harden's going to get his money. Harden deserves... I won't say deserves it, but the Sixers have no other option, so... Yeah, that's just where I'm at with James Harden.
Man. So so if James Harden were to leave, I gotta ask you, where should he go? Because there's not a lot of teams out there that would.
Dude, 29 other teams, if they could, they would give him $180 million on a max contract.
Okay, so you say that, right? I'm not talking about the Magic. I'm not talking about the Hornets. I'm talking about champion. No offense, I'm talking about championship contenders.
Some kind of contender that maybe wants to try to get over the hump.
Yes. No. I don't know if a plane would take a risk on him.
Why not? You don't think a New Orleans would take a risk on him?
No, you have McCollum.
I forgot about McCollum.
And McCollum's better.
I was thinking B.I. and Zion.
Yeah, McCollum's better, too, so I don't know.
I don't know if McCollum's better. I don't know if McCollum's better than James Harden.
Better,
he's not better than James Harden right now. No, he's not. But I'm just throwing some names out there off the top of my head. Why not like a Minnesota? Like I'm being straight up.
And Edwards, though. Ant's
not my one.
But I don't want him. I'll rap with Pat Bev and Ant.
Hey, why can't Harden be a 3? Why can't Harden be a 3?
I'm
not saying play the 3, but I'm saying like be a third wheel.
No.
And he would be.
I got Cat.
Cat, come on, bro. He's a fraud.
Bro, he's gonna stop my development. Nope. I have D'Lo, I have Ant, and I have
trade D'Lo, bro. Trade D'Lo. But I'm just saying, like, okay, obviously he's not going back to Houston. He's not going back to Brooklyn. He's obviously, let's just say he's not in Philadelphia. Like, that's the reason. Go to the Knicks. And he make the Knicks relevant again. He make the Knicks.
The Knicks would be cool.
He would be putting up 25 and 11 on the Knicks.
He would have
easily.
To. He would be the only option.
Easily. But he would easily, because you would see, oh my God, there's James Harden again. Because he's that guy.
I think the Knicks would be a great spot for him, actually.
That would be, but I'm just throwing a name out there. You know what I'm saying? So, like, obviously not Atlanta. I don't know, bro. Like, I'm just obviously been thrown onto the spot.
Yeah.
But there's any other team would be like, dude, I want James Harden.
Championship. I'm talking about, it has to be like a team that's like looking.
Come to Utah, bro. I will gladly take James Harden in Utah, bro. Come to Utah. As long as I'm not giving up.
I ain't gonna lie though. If he goes to Utah, Rudy Gobert will get that damn ball.
He's gonna get so many lobs.
He will be a lob.
I'll trade Mike Conley and Bojan Bogdanovic right now and a pick for James Harden. Because he's not a top 20 player to you.
He's not. What? He's not playing like one.
I say not playing like one.
He's not playing like one.
He's a top 20 player, but that's where I'm at with James Harden. Let's get on to the Eastern Conference and the Western Conference Finals. We got your Golden State Warriors taking on the Dallas Mavericks tonight. Game 1 in the Bay, San Francisco. Luka, man, that boy been cooking. Give me your thoughts on the series. Give me your prediction. Who do you got winning? And how many games?
Well, I think I told you in the chat, but I think the Warriors faced the best team in the West last series. I think the Memphis Grizzlies. The Memphis Grizzlies. That team was good, man. They punched us in the mouth a few times, dog. But I think we faced the best team.
Or like in the back of the head and caused an injury for 3 to 4 weeks.
That too. They bruised us up. I ain't gonna hold you, but that was the best team we faced with Ja or without Ja by far. Talent wise, they were unfazed. They weren't shell shocked. That team was in great position to win that series and come back down 3-1, or even be up 3-2 at one point if it wasn't for their terrible collapse in Game 4. Right, that team was the best team in the West easily this year, in my opinion.
That's cap. Go on.
I do think the Mavericks are very hot right now, but they play into our strengths. Right, they don't got a dominant big, so we ain't got to worry about getting cooked by Jokic or Jaren Jackson this series, which I'm very happy.
Or Gobert.
Gobert?
Yeah, I was just joking.
Oh, yeah. Well, we ain't facing him in the playoffs.
Rudy Gobert. I know.
So we ain't got to worry about a big going off. They like to play, 5 out and let, Spencer and Luka and
Kleba.
I'm talking about like the ISO scores. Like, Spencer, Luka, and Brunson cook. That's fine. It plays right into our strengths. Steve Kerr spoke about it. He said it's really reminds him of those old Rockets teams, and it really does because they let it play ISO ball.
Yeah.
They have ISO scores. They don't want to get theirs.
A whole lot of Mike D'Antoni.
As long as the Warriors defend, run good offense, and don't turn the ball over and rebound it did last series, bro, they're going to win this series in 5 or 6, in my opinion.
Okay.
I think they're going to be able to take games 1 and 2. I think Game 3 we're going to lose, and deciding factor if the series goes further than 5 or 6 will be Game 4. If the Warriors win Game 4, I think it's wrapped up in 5 or 6. I really do.
Yeah.
I've heard all season the Mavericks don't have enough help for Luka. Now all of a sudden they have enough help. I've been saying they had help. The help wasn't playing good.
You've been a very big advocate for that.
I've been saying they had help. Now the help is finally participating and playing good basketball. And I said in that Utah Jazz series, I said Jalen Brunson and Spencer Dinwiddie, you brought them in. They're playing good basketball this season. They were good enough to win you 2 games. They were. And Luka came in and they took care of the series. And people were saying, oh no, the Mavericks have no chance now. Like, no. That team, those guys are good enough to beat that inconsistent offense Jazz team this season because the Jazz were inconsistent.
They're inconsistent.
If it was last year's Jazz team, they would have won.
But
the Jazz. But
the thing is, the Jazz, if they actually play to their potential, they're a great team.
And they're a shot away from winning that series.
And sometimes they play like one of the worst teams in the. They're either playing at an elite level or they're playing at a lottery team level. Yeah. There's no in between with this team.
So I think they're facing more complete guard play. They're facing a better bench because the Suns had one of the worst benches in the postseason, in my opinion. So they're facing a good bench in the Warriors. They're facing a championship team in the Warriors, right? They know how to close out games. They're not going to fumble the series away. If the Warriors are up 3-2, they're going to close it out on their home floor.
I agree.
I'm sorry to tell you. Luka's phenomenal. Luka's going to get his. I'm not worried about Luka. I'm worried about guys like Brunson and Spencer.
Luka can drop 40 and whatnot, and that's fine.
Exactly. I don't care about Luka. Luka, do your. That's what I said about Ja Morant. I do not care what Ja does. Ja averaged 37 against us. We were up 2-1 and blew him out by 30. I don't give a damn what Luka does. I'm worried about Spencer. I'm worried about Brunson and Kleber.
Yeah, Kleber. Yeah, Maxi Kleber. Yeah,
Maxi Kleber.
Dorian Finney-Smith.
Reggie. I'm worried about those role players. If those role players stay in if they stay in check, we win this series. I'm cool, and also another thing too. When Brunson doesn't play well, the Mavericks don't win.
Yeah.
So as long as we keep those guys,
because he's having a Mickey Mouse playoff run.
That's not true.
Yeah, it is.
But I mean, Luka's gonna get his, but I think the Warriors. I think they, like I said, they were battle tested last year. I'm not saying the Suns weren't either. I mean, I'm not saying the Mavericks weren't either.
Obviously, yeah.
But like I said, I think they faced a better team. We're gonna play to our strengths. We're gonna run some good small ball lineups up there. We're just gonna be a better, more orchestrated team. You know, so I know defensively they're very sound. You know what I'm saying? But I just feel like we're going to take advantage of mismatches. They're going to do for us. They're going to take advantage of mismatches too. But we're going to get Luka in a lot of action. He's going to work. We're going to give him a lot of action on the floor. Then they're going to do a lot of blitzing on Steph Curry. So other guys like Jordan Poole need to play better. Klay Thompson needs to keep hitting shots. Draymond needs to be aggressive. That's another thing too. If Draymond's not aggressive, we're not winning this series. Draymond, I seen you drop 14 and 15 in the closeout game. You can do it. You can score, dog. There's no reason why Draymond should be giving me 2 and 4 points. I need you to average 10 or 11. Mm-hmm. The way you played in that Dallas Mavericks, that Portland Trailblazers series in 2019, I need that because you are you might have been MVP of that series, even though Steph Curry averaged like 35, but you played out of your mind. I need to see that again, and you're capable of, man. You dropped 14, 15, and 8 that last game, dog, and Looney, hell of a rebounder in that game as well, but. I like the Warriors in this series, man. They have home court advantage throughout the whole postseason. And I'm not going to say they won the finals, but I do like them to get past the Mavericks. I don't think the Mavericks have enough. But, Luka, he's phenomenal. But I know one thing about Luka, and that's what kind of hurt them in the 2 games they did lose in the series, or 3 games. And that's another thing the Warriors need to take advantage of. If Luka is playing hero ball, he's playing into our hands. He loves to play hero ball when the game gets out of, even like a slight.
Even a 10-point lead.
A 10-point lead, he likes to get hero ball. And I'm okay with that. You know what I'm saying? He's still young, 23. He needs to. He's been battle tested before in his career. He's going against guys like Paul George, Patrick Beverly, Kawhi Leonard. He's seen it all, right? He's seen the best defenders. None of our guys will be able to check him. I know that. But if we can get him to play some hero ball and him to force shots and not look for his teammates, we good cooking. You know what I'm saying? So I like us to win this series. It's gonna be a hard fought battle again. They're hot right now, man, but. I seen a hot Portland Trailblazers team coming to against the Warriors. We swept them. You know what I'm saying? I've seen hot Rockets teams. We beat them in 7. So I'm excited. I think the Warriors are gonna win this and get back to the finals. But yeah, I got the Warriors winning in 5 or 6.
Okay, I got the Warriors winning in 5. I mean, you basically summarized that entire thing up. So I mean, I don't really got much to say after that, but. I do think that obviously the Golden State Warriors are a more complete team. In the postseason, I care way more about coaching than it is the players.
For sure.
You can have superstar level type players that elevate their game in the playoffs or all-star caliber players, but if you don't got the right coaching, especially in the playoffs, those guys can look a lot worse or they can look a lot better than they are. That's why I said, even jokingly, but I'm pretty damn serious, I believe Jalen Brunson's just having a playoff Mickey Mouse run. I believe that he's just playing extraordinarily and just playing out of his mind this playoffs in this entire postseason. I don't think he deserves whatever max contract he's about to get this offseason because I think he's just a glorified role player. He's not really a number 2, but that's besides the point. Luka, I think he's going to struggle tonight, game 1. I think the Golden State Warriors take this series in 5. I think Dallas goes home, wins game 3, loses game 4. It's closed out in 5 in San Francisco. Golden State's the better team. Steve Kerr's the more proven coach. Nothing against Jason Kidd. All-time great. He's bounced around the league coaching as well, too. And obviously he's found, I guess, his niche now in Dallas. But no. Golden State's just the better team.
Yeah.
Flat out. And I'm not worried about Reggie Bullock, DFS, Kleber, Brunson. I'm not worried about these guys. I think Golden State takes care of this series.
There's no defender outside of maybe Dorian Finney-Smith and Frank Ntilikina.
Yeah, Ntilikina, yeah.
That can really muscle up on Jordan Poole and Steph Curry.
Yeah.
This should be a series where, like we saw against the Nuggets, Jordan Poole and Steph Curry have very good games. There's nobody on this team that can really defend them like we saw against Dylan Brooks and Melt and stuff like that, guys that can bruise you up a little bit. The Warriors should take advantage of, isolation points as well. Poole, there's no rim protection. You know what I'm saying? Like I said, there's nobody down there that's gonna block your shot, dog. You should be able to finish with ease down that on those. It should be clogged up.
I do think that every single game that the Warriors win, or I'll say even every game in this series, which I think it goes 5. I don't think it goes any more than that. I think Dallas will get their one win. I think every night is gonna be a different one. One night Steph Curry's gonna give you 35. The next night Klay's gonna give you 40. Then you're
40?
Then you're gonna see Jordan Poole drop 30. Like, and don't worry, they're still gonna get their buckets, but I think every night it's gonna be one of these guys that's gonna be on. But it'll be Steph Curry's gonna do his thing in the series.
Limit the turnovers, rebound like you did before, and you're in good standings. I promise you. Like,
I think Dallas gets blown out game 1. I think they're gonna lose.
I can see.
I think they're gonna like 15 plus. I think Golden State's gonna cover that spread.
I think Golden State wins comfortably tonight. I think they struggle game 2 but pull it out.
Exactly.
Game 3 they'll lose. You know, it's hard to come on. It's hard to run on the road that first series. And plus they play phenomenal at home. The Dallas Mavericks.
It's a completely different team.
It's like their whole team turns into the Monstars. Spot up sharpshooters, dog.
That corner 3, bro. They don't miss, bro. They do not miss that corner 3, especially if Reggie Bullock gets it. It's gone like that.
And I know people say, "Oh, with the Warriors." Well, first of all, the Warriors, the first 2 matchups they went against, they lost the season series to. Yeah. They lost the season series to the Denver Nuggets. They beat us 3-1. We lost the season series to the Memphis Grizzlies. They beat us 3-1, and we lost the season series to the Dallas Mavericks. They beat us 3-1.
Really?
Yes.
Did not know that.
But in those games, Draymond Green didn't play. Yeah. He only played one game, and the game he played, we blew him out. Yeah. The times, this is another thing too. I know regular season doesn't matter, but the times we faced them at home, we blew them out one game. The second game we blew them out. We blew that huge lead. Remember that? We blew that 26-point lead, something like that.
I forget.
We blew a huge lead.
It's been a minute.
And then on the road, we lost to them on Dirk night. And then
I remember that. Yep.
And then we lost to them in a close game when Luka went for 40.
And he'll do that. I'm not worried, like you said. I'm not worried about Luka.
Take care of lead. That's the biggest thing. The Warriors have been doing very good at that in the playoffs. Every time they've been up by 10 points, they've closed it out. Don't blow a lead. If you're up by 10, keep the foot on their neck, man. And like I said, I like us to win this series in 5 or 6.
Okay.
So yeah.
And I think we got a lot more competitive and a lot more interesting of a series in the Eastern Conference Finals with the Boston Celtics.
I'm not gonna downplay Dallas because I told you before in the round 1. I said that's one team I do not want to face in round 1.
That is a team you did say you were very adamant about that. Yeah. But I think we're just kind of at the point now, especially the conference finals. You just look at the landscape and you're like, Golden State should win this series, man. They're the better team. With Miami and Boston, there's a lot of.
We saw last night.
Regardless if you're a Boston fan or Heat fan, it's like, bro, this series could go either way. Yeah. Now, obviously, Game 1's complete. Yeah. As of the recording of this video, because it's Wednesday, May 18th. Mm-hmm. Miami came out on top. I mean, Jimmy Butler was just phenomenal in that second half, really helping Miami to get over the hump. And I've been preaching it this entire playoffs, and especially heading into the postseason. I said, there's something about Jimmy Butler. I believe in this guy. He's not a superstar. He's a great all-star, but there's something about him. That's a 1A. That's a 1A on a championship level team. He's not KD. He's not Steph. He ain't LeBron. But Jimmy Buckets is that guy, and he's proven me right. He keeps proving me. What's his third 40-point game this postseason so far? Fifth? Have I lost track? 5. Have I lost count?
He's dropped 5 40-point games. He has 0 in the regular season.
Yeah. Okay. So he's playing right into my hands. I invested in the Jimmy Buckets this heading into the postseason, and he's proven me right. They're up 1-0. I had the Heat winning in the series in 6 back in the semifinals. I said, if Miami ends up beating Philadelphia and Boston ends up going, I'm like, Heat are going to win that series in 6. Obviously, no Al Horford, no Marcus Smart. That proved to be detrimental, especially not having Marcus Smart because Derek White, he's been good, but he's not Marcus Smart. Peyton Pritchard's serviceable. He's not Marcus Smart. Those guys look a lot better when they get Marcus Smart on the court because he can facilitate a lot better and also play defense. So I think Miami drops game 2. I think it goes back 1-1. I think the season series gets split. I won't say season series. I think it gets split. I think it goes 2-2 when it comes back to Miami. I think they'll both win one on the road, both teams. It'll come back 2-2 to South Beach, and Miami takes care of business the next 2 games. I had the Heat winning the series in 6, and I did text you about 2 weeks ago, even when the semifinals was going on. I said, bro, the Heat are winning the finals. I'm like, this team stays healthy. I was like, the Heat are winning the finals. You didn't buy in. I'm telling you, I bought in. And even as a Magic fan, I bought in. So
if my Warriors make it to the finals against the Heat, we beating them.
No, the Heat are winning the finals, and I said that 2 weeks ago. I don't got the receipts because we didn't post nothing, but I'm making it clear right now. The Miami Heat, I did post on my YouTube. The Miami Heat are winning the 2022 NBA Finals, 2022 NBA Finals. They're beating the Celtics in 6. Remember this.
If the Warriors get to the finals and they face the Heat, they're beating them.
What if they place the Celtics?
They were losing. They were losing.
Okay.
Because that means.
Well, let's talk. Let's talk. Eastern
for sure. But I'm gonna say this real quick.
Okay.
If Boston does beat the Heat, they've been battle tested,
and they can't be burnt out by Steph Curry. They ain't played no Steph Curry. Man,
they done better win against some dogs, dog.
Steph Curry different.
They done beat the greatest scorer in this game. They done beat the best player in this game. They done
the biggest crier of this game.
And they probably, if they beat the Heat, they'll beat the best playoff performer in this game.
Okay.
So, in this year's playoffs. Yeah. So, anyways, just sticking with the Heat. I like what you said. You're right, Celtics. Man.
Who do you got winning the series? Talk to me.
Man, last night showed me a lot. Marcus Smart needs to get healthy.
That foot, man.
That I don't even give a damn about Al Horford. Al Horford's not
he was
moving.
out for safety healthy protocols.
Yeah,
right?
But he's not moving the needle. They need Marcus Smart.
Yeah,
Jason
Marcus
Tatum
way more
is a phenomenal player, but he's not a floor general. He's not a legit consistent playmaker. He had like 6 turnovers last night.
Yeah, and some of them were like, "What are you doing?"
He's just throwing it.
Two of those steals Jimmy Butler had. It was like just giving it to him.
I want to say, Ime Udoka, you're a hell of a coach, but one, I don't like the way your player disrespected you last night.
Real quick, while you said that, because I said what I had said, I meant to make this point too. About the Western Conference Final, I said Steve Kerr. I like the championship pedigree. I trust coaching in the playoffs
Eric
more.
Spoelstra.
That was the big thing I said a couple of weeks ago too about Eric Spoelstra. I'm like, it's nothing against Ime. I know he's sat with Pop, our GOAT of our generation, and Ime's done a great job this first season. No, Eric Spoelstra, he's a top 15 coach of all time. It was his 6th Eastern Conference Finals, and now this is his 2nd with Jimmy Butler. Bro, Eric Spoelstra is one of the greats. Come on.
We saw it last night. Second half adjustments.
Yep.
Went crazy.
Even when Tyler Hero wasn't getting buckets. He had 3 second half points, and they were just free throws.
Bro.
Jimmy.
That Heat defense clamped up so hard, bro. It was at one point. It was 20. It was a 32-2 third quarter at one point.
I think they went on a 62-29 run in that time period.
Yeah.
When they had a 20-point lead.
Yeah. So going back to Ime Udoka.
Go for it.
One, like I said, you're a hell of a coach, but you need to demand more respect out of your players. I saw Grant Williams telling you not being coachable.
Yeah.
Not being who are you, Grant Williams?
You're the one guy who had 7 threes in a closeout game, but you're a role player. Bro.
Yeah. For the Grant Curry stuff is disrespectful. Yeah. Don't do that, right? He's Grant Williams.
Tatum can yell at Ime. That's fine.
Yeah. That boy, as a you know what I'm saying? I get all the yelling stuff, but there's no reason why Grant Williams should not be coachable, dog. Why is he telling you move on? Yeah. No, dog, no. I don't get. I mean, it might have been a recipe the whole season. I get it. It's been working. Don't get me wrong. But you need to demand more respect out of your players. They need to be more coachable, dog. You're telling people that they're just they're kind of they're still showing that youthful side. I know they've been very bad in game 1s this whole postseason run. They should have lost game 1 against the Brooklyn Nets. They lost game 1 against the Bucks, and they lost game 1 yesterday. They respond well in game 2s and throughout
that's
the playoffs.
Why I think they'll take game 2 in Miami.
Need to be more coachable. And they also, if Marcus Smart is going to be out, they need to find better ways to get the team involved. Last night, during the third quarter, when they were shot hunting and looking for points, the only 2 people that touched the ball was Jaylen Brown and Jason Tatum, but they were not facilitating, bro. They were trying to get their own.
That's not their game. Their game is not predicated
and that's why it didn't work beginning of the season, before All-Star break. That's why Marcus Smart had that conference. It was they need to play better. Yeah. You know what I'm saying? You need to get other players involved. And that is still their kryptonite, man. They cannot get the teammates involved. Both of them. They can't. I mean, even though Jason Tatum might have 7 assists, he had 6 turnovers. Yeah. You know what I'm saying? Every assist, every 1 turnover. You know what I'm saying? So they need to get their players involved better. Ime needs to scheme up some better ways to get guys open. Derek White needs to play better. Peyton Pritchard played pretty good, but he didn't play enough minutes in my opinion.
Right, and that's the thing is, Derek White and Peyton Pritchard look a lot better when Marcus Smart's there because they're not Marcus Smart.
The Time Lord played very good last night. You know what I'm saying? He balled out. You know, he gave you some good minutes. He held Bam Adebayo in check. But yeah, I mean, Tatum and Brown in that second half, especially Brown. I mean, Brown was taking some crazy transition threes. What are you doing, dog? You're only down by.
If it's not your night, just acknowledge, bro.
Exactly.
It's not my night.
It's not your night. Exactly. And also because you were up by it was you were up by a good amount in the third quarter before they took the lead, right, bro? Why are you forcing up shots? And even when you're down by 8, it's a winnable game. Slow it down. slow it down. But I think another thing too, the Heat were doing a very good job of getting to the free throw line, and I think that got into the head of the Celtics because the Celtics. Okay,
Jimmy was 17 of 18 at the line.
Yeah,
17 of 18,
and they were both in the bonus, and the Celtics were looking for foul calls, and the ref were not calling it. So I get that, right? But yeah, I mean, the Heat showed some great brilliance last night. Tucker came up big. Bam had some crazy blocks, right? I think he had four or five blocks.
Yeah.
Tyler Hero gave you a good 17 off the bench.
The first half he kept a minute.
Yeah, Gabe Vincent hitting clutch threes. You know what I'm saying? With the shot clock going down, hitting crazy threes, playing good defense, stripping down on guys like the Time Lord and whatnot in the paint. But yeah, I mean,
coaching.
Second half adjustments, man. So it's gonna be a battle, man. I can't say I don't know how I like in the series, man, because I didn't give a preview of before the series.
Yeah,
I'm just taking it game by game, man. But yeah, I think.
How many games do you think it's going to though? I've been saying Heat in 6 for me.
I think it goes 6.
You think it goes 6?
I don't think we'll see a game 7.
I don't think it's a game 7 either.
No game 7. I think it's gonna go 6.
Plus, if the Heat get down 20 early, you already know that they're going to be walking out of the arena. Then they're going to be begging to come back once the Heat come back in.
Yeah, bro.
Banging on the doors. Hey, I see we come back. Oh, no, you can't get back in.
Yeah, so, yeah, man. I mean, Jimmy Butler, 41 last night. Played unbelievable, man. Yeah. He played very, very excellent. It was looking too easy for him.
No threes.
No threes. Getting to the line.
When you see that in this era, you don't.
DeMar DeRozan.
It's okay. There's the exception.
Yeah. Outside of him,
never see a player drop 40 now.
Yeah, outside of a big man, even bigs, if a big dropping 40, he'd hit a few threes.
Or I guess Ben Simmons 2 seasons ago, we're dropping 42 on Rudy Gobert.
Rudy should be ashamed of himself.
Stop, no reason. But last thing I want to say about that series is, this is no bias. This is no Florida Jacksonville bias, nothing like that, right? But I will say, I'm hoping, even though I think Miami's gonna win it all, they're gonna get to the finals. Mm-hmm. There's a little part of me that's just a little biased. I'm like, man, I just want to be in South Beach, bro. I want to make that drive, man. I want to go down for a couple of days and just enjoy that weather. Don't get me wrong, the weather here is great too, but it's different, bro. That weather's different, man. I went to Atlantic Beach the other day. I was like skateboarding, me and my friend, and we're like 8 miles from Neptune Beach down to Jax Beach. It was cool, like right on the beach, like the breeze is nice. Man, Miami, bro. I want to be in Miami right now, bro. I'm 21 now. Living it up. You know what I'm saying? So
hopefully,
that's just where I'm
if
at.
It's the Warriors, man, that would be a crazy, crazy matchup, man. They'd literally be.
Bro, Stephen A would be loving his life.
Bro, they'll be flying from literally coast to coast, dog.
I mean, both ways, though. Yeah. It would be Boston, Golden State, or Golden State, Miami. It's coast to coast, bro. Yeah. But, yeah.
Or Dallas, Dallas. It could be a rematch of Dallas and the Heat. Who knows? I just don't see.
Nah, that's not happening.
Yeah, I think the NBA, I think they really want to see the Warriors back in there, man.
They do, man.
For a feel-good story. Man. I think they really do. Not even trying to be biased, just know how the NBA works. Like, I saw the Mad Dog dude. He said he wanted to see Memphis and the Bucks in the finals.
Yeah, just to piss Stephen A off.
That would be. Yeah. Who will watch Mad that? Dog. Only real NBA fans will watch that series.
He's an old head, that's why. So yeah, you got that old head.
But yeah, man, that's how I feel about it.
Yeah. So let's get into our biggest disappointment and biggest surprise of the playoffs so far. I want you to tell me who's been your biggest disappointment. It could be a team as a whole, or it could be an individual player, or maybe a duo.
My biggest disappointment as a team, I would say a team and player. My biggest disappointment as a team has been the Phoenix Suns for sure. The Phoenix Suns, definitely, dog. I mean, you struggle against a play-in team.
You are so wrong, but go on.
You struggle against a play-in team. You lose in 7 to the Dallas Mavericks when everybody had you win that series in 5. Right? You talked a lot of shit in that game. You were up 2-0, clowning Luka in the press conference.
People acting tough when they up.
Exactly. So and you got your ass whipped in a game 7.
I've never seen an ass whipping like that.
You got your ass whipped, and game 7 is supposed to be competitive. Game 7 is anything can happen.
27 in the first half.
Luka had more points than you through going into the third quarter with 8 minutes left. You know what I'm saying? He had more points than you. That's crazy, bro. Terrible way to end that. The best record in the season. Did all that
8-game margin.
They had all that working out, you know what I'm saying, after the game.
Hey, that's what winners do, baby. That's what winners do.
Won 24 games in a row, some crazy stuff like that. Biggest disappointment for sure. I mean, and you're looking at a team that's probably not going to be fighting for their life next year to get into the postseason more than likely. Yeah. So biggest disappointment in player.
It doesn't have, no, I just kind of wanted to keep it at one. So the Phoenix Suns are your biggest disappointment.
I want to give a player, but yeah.
Okay, what player's been the most disappointing then? Because I'll tell you both, but it's the same for me.
I would say the biggest disappointment in player. Man, that's tough, dog.
If you want to come back to it,
I'll come back to it. I got something in mind, but I really want to get my thoughts around it.
You're good. So
you better not say it, man.
No, it's easy to say it, bro. Who's the only team in the NBA postseason that got swept this season?
Oh,
what team was that?
I think he's about to say the Memphis Grizzlies. Okay, cool. The Nets, the Brooklyn Nets. Yeah, for sure. Biggest disappointment.
The Grizzlies can't be a disappointment if I didn't buy into them.
Okay, that's true.
If I already said that they were going to be frauds going into the playoffs, then they can't disappoint me. I expect that.
Yeah.
So the biggest disappointment has been the Brooklyn Nets. The only team that got swept, they got their asses whooped. It felt like after game
never
one.
felt like they had a chance.
It felt like they just
outside
never.
Of game one.
Yeah. It really felt like, Boston's just going to impose their will. Even if the score was close, it didn't feel like Boston was going to end up like losing these games, especially Game 4 on Brooklyn's floor. KD and Kyrie, two of the greatest offensive players and two of the greatest talents that we've seen in the history of the game and in our generation growing up, in 3 seasons so far, have won one series. Yeah, one series. We were talking about this team in 2019 when they got together and said, championship level expectations.
That's why it's hard to build a super team, man. It's not
it
easy.
Is. KD coming off his Achilles, obviously didn't play that first season. Kyrie
had that injury.
Yeah, wasn't that great. KD comes back. There's issues. We get COVID. Kyrie wants to sit out. Kyrie doesn't want to play. Yada, yada, yada. Hey, they go and win a series. Oh, my God, finally. But then everyone wants to blame a toe tap. They lose to Giannis.
Yeah.
The eventual champions. Whatever. Year 3, they're the only team to get swept. Kyrie doesn't want to get vaxxed. They lift the mandate. He comes back. He's a part-time player. He's a full-time player. But the chemistry, the continuity, it's just not there. The players just aren't in sync.
I think the Ramadan was messing with him, too.
It might have been, too. But that's his own fault. Okay? With all due respect. With all due respect. Because it's not a religious attack I'm having on anybody. That's a choice he made. Yeah. So, regardless if it's his religious purpose or... He doesn't even need to be Islamic to participate in Ramadan. You can do that. Yeah, so... If he just made that choice, regardless of his religious beliefs or not, it's the postseason, bro. You have a job, you have a contract, you are supposed to show up and show out, and you see guys coming over to you on the bench. Hey, bro, sun's down. Hey, come down. I'll give you a banana. I'll let you get some food in your stomach. Come on, bro. It's the playoffs, man. It's the playoffs. So, regardless if that's affecting him or not, I'm not holding that against him. I think him not being on the court for an extended period of time to get in rhythm with his teammates for the entire season,
he said
that is what derailed the Brooklyn Nets. They've been the biggest disappointment this season and the 3 years that KD and Kyrie have been together. It's been pathetic. That's what it's been.
Yeah, he said in the podcast with the Etceteras, not KD wasn't there, it was Eddie Gonzalez or whatever his name is. He said that even when he dropped that 60-point game against the Magic and had all those great games, he never felt like he was in rhythm this season.
Yeah, I wonder why. Also, when he came onto the pod a couple weeks ago and he said, "Life of a martyr, bro." Life of a martyr. Not even going to get into that, but my God, I cannot stand that man. I can't stand that man either. I've been so done with him for years, bro. I'm so done with that guy. But point is, though, the Brooklyn Nets / KD, Kyrie, mostly Kyrie. I won't even call him Kyrie. I'm going to call him Kyrie.
Oh, my God.
Kyrie. He don't get his original legal name until he proves me otherwise moving forward.
I don't disrespect Kyrie.
Nope.
If you ever hear this Kyrie, I'm not disrespecting you. I respect you a lot, man. You're a phenomenal player.
You are He's a phenomenal. I didn't say he wasn't. He's a top 15.
I respect anything you do, man.
Top 15 player.
He's a different guy.
Once he gets onto the court for 60-plus games, we can have a different conversation. I ain't seen it. Okay? Kyrie and the Brooklyn Nets have been the biggest disappointment / player this postseason by far. Who's been yours? I know you said the Phoenix Suns. If you have a player in mind, I was going to tell you my most surprising team.
Oh, I'm going to give you that in the next. So my most disappointing player would probably be, I would say James Harden in the postseason.
James Harden got some wins on his resume this
postseason. When he was out there by himself, he was about to get swept.
He was. But it's also on the road. It's kind of hard.
I don't want to hear that, man. I don't want to hear that. You brought in to be that guy. You brought in to be a huge difference maker from Ben Simmons. And you showed your complete ass as well. I mean, you only had one 30-point game since, I want to say, March. You hadn't haven't even dropped a 40-piece, right? Played terrible. You shot terrible. You weren't aggressive. You only had 2 shot attempts in the second half of a closeout game. Played bad. Inexcusable. So yeah, definitely James Harden.
All right. Well, who's been your most surprising team or / player?
Man, I would say the Warriors might be my most surprising team.
Okay,
I did not think the Warriors would get this far. Like being like not biased.
Yeah.
Like, cause biased, I had them getting to the finals. Cause I was like, okay, I just can't count them out.
Yeah.
But like I thought Memphis was gonna get us.
Yeah.
Before Ja even got hurt, I was like, bro, Memphis is one. I told you, though, Memphis is one team that really scares me, man, because they just got some dogs, man. Like, did you ever seen that meme? He got a dog in him.
Yeah.
They got that dog in them, and I was worried, man. But like they had that youth still in them, so I definitely the Warriors been the biggest surprise for me. Player wise, I would say Jalen Brunson. Trying to think of anybody else.
That's fair.
Brunson.
That's fair.
Brunson's definitely been hooping, man. I mean, definitely been playing lights out. He had a 41 piece against your Utah Jazz. He's been hooping. He got the dog in him.
I told you it's a Mickey Mouse run, bro.
He got a dog in him. So yeah,
Brunson been your most surprising.
I'm trying to think of anybody. I'm not surprised from Jimmy Butler because I expected this.
Well, I didn't
expect it, but
I was about to say you didn't buy it.
I didn't buy it, but we've seen this before, and I said, because last year I was like, man, like
you were like you didn't see it from Jimmy. I was like, no. I was like, because you were like, when was the last time Jimmy did something to play? Like, yo, the bubble.
Yeah.
He's like, bubble.
I've heard of playoff Jimmy. I just didn't know if he was still around. I've been told you. I'm not surprised by Jimmy Butler doing this.
Okay. So my most surprising team, honestly, is gonna be the Boston Celtics, bro. I'm gonna keep it real. Because the thing is, like, I recognize that turnaround. I was like, okay, but I didn't think it was gonna be the Bucks getting into the postseason, even without Chris Middleton. When we obviously Chris Middleton was what ultimately derailed Milwaukee, right? Like they win that series, and Chris Middleton's there. I had Milwaukee coming out of the East prior to Chris Middleton going down. But even without Chris Middleton, bro, they hung in there. And I said, man, like, bro, Giannis series, man. I'm like, Giannis is that guy, and he's going to win that series. And he did everything in his willpower. Say what you want about the half-court offense in Game 7 and how stagnant it gets. I was like, so Boston's been the team that surprised me because I didn't have them making the Eastern Conference Finals under any circumstances. I said it would be Milwaukee. I said it'd be Philly. I said it'd be Miami. I did not have Boston making it because I didn't think that they were going to beat any of those teams, obviously healthy. So they've surprised me, even though I respected them. I gave them their flowers. I respect what Ime's done and how they've changed this whole team around. So they've been the team that's most surprised me. And then, player that's most surprised me has been Jalen Brunson. Like I say, he doesn't deserve a bag this offseason. He's having a Mickey Mouse run. He's not a number 2. He just looks a lot better because he's playing with Luka.
Yes, he was dropping 41 without Luka.
Bro, Mickey Mouse game. I'm being 40.
And was it on the road or was it game 2 in Dallas?
No, it was in Dallas. It's in Dallas. Look, he still played good in game 3. Okay, look, all I'm saying is, look, Jalen Brunson's a good player. I'm not taking nothing away. Good young player. He deserves his money. He deserves to get a bag. He doesn't deserve no max contract, which is probably what he's going to be pushing. He's going to get over $100 million. He does not deserve that type of money. I know the market says, well, Duncan Robinson's getting $90 million, so okay, sure, if you want to go off the market game. But Jalen Brunson, do not pay Jalen Brunson to be your number 2. Let me just tell that to 29 other teams out there. Do not pay Jalen Brunson to be your number 2. But he has been the most surprising player.
Crazy, though?
He's played good in the playoffs. I'll give him credit where it's due. It's a Mickey Mouse run, though.
You know what's crazy? You know what this run reminds me of?
Don't say TJ Warren.
Nah, Fred VanVleet.
Fred VanVleet's actually an all-star caliber player,
but it started out in that championship run.
Who got a ring?
God, come on, man.
I'm gonna pull that card.
I'm just saying, like, he's hooping like how Fred was, man. And then, did you think that Fred deserved to be a max player?
No.
Exactly. Now what happened this year? He became an all-star.
Okay, I actually
and they bet on him than Kyle Lowry because they knew Kyle Lowry was
getting up there in age.
Yeah, so they bet on Fred VanVleet.
So who's getting up there in age? They could have
drafted Jalen. That's how much they believed in Fred VanVleet because they could have drafted Jalen Suggs in the draft. They didn't. They got Scotty Barnes.
I agree.
Exactly.
So.
What do you mean so?
So, I'm saying Kyle Lowry was an aging point guard who had done his time and has been one of the greatest Raptors to have ever played in that organization.
What I'm saying is Jalen Brunson is showing me a lot. I think he can lead a team next season to a possible play-in next year.
What do you say lead a team? What does that mean?
Lead a team. I think he can get into a play-in.
So is the one option?
As a one option, yes.
You are on crack, bro. What are you talking about?
The Knicks with a good foundation around him.
Is that not Julius Randle 2.0? But like 6 inches smaller.
Yeah, and Julius was an all-star.
Jalen Brunson,
bro.
Stop. Just stop,
bro. He's a good player, man.
I didn't say he wasn't.
He's a great player.
You said it's a number 1 option.
Yes. Yes.
No.
Yes.
Not even a number 2 option. No. No.
What about the Lakers' number 2 option?
Okay, so LeBron and AD aren't there? That's what you're saying then.
He'll be a
so he'd be a third option.
Baby.
You can pay Jalen Brunson. I will be okay if a team wants to pay JB. If a team wants to pay Jalen Brunson this offseason to be a number 3, cool. I got no problem.
He's a second option.
No, he's not.
Yes, he is.
No.
Yes, he is.
No, he's not.
Yes, he is.
Well, then
AD
that's pathetic.
is not AD anymore.
Well, then Jeannie Buss and that whole entire organization better be damn near disappointed in themselves.
Why?
Because Jalen Brunson ain't no number 2.
Yes, he is. He's showing you right now.
I'm not getting into a Jalen Brunson argument with you because that guy is having a Mickey Mouse run, and that's just where I'm at with it. Let's talk about the best team in the state of Florida, the Orlando Magic.
Oh, wow.
It will be next season. I'm sorry, not this season. Next season. They'll be one of the best defensive teams in the NBA after landing the number 1 overall pick. I was tweaking. Man, I was on cloud.
Are you more of a fan with the Magic or the Jazz?
It's 1A, 1B.
No,
so
you got to have a team. Who is your
when they play each other twice a year?
Yes, at the end of the day, who are you really getting frustrated and losing sleep over?
Utah.
Exactly. Okay.
But I'm a diehard. I've been a diehard Magic fan my whole life.
You can be a diehard. I just want to know what team keeps you up late at night.
Utah.
Exactly.
Orlando just pisses me off, but I'm a diehard Orlando fan to the day I die. Still.
That's true, but I just know there's one team that keeps you up late at night.
Utah's always kept me up late at night. Also, even they also play on a different time zone, so they do also keep me up late at night.
But even though when there was kind of like
Al Jefferson, Paul Millsap, Jamal Tinsley,
Gordon Hayward, stuff like that.
Yeah, Gordon Hayward.
They still keep you up late at night, right? Over the Magic, because the Magic were good at that time.
Yeah, I know. And I was watching. I watch almost every Magic game, and I do watch every Jazz game.
Mm-hmm.
I watch almost every single one of their games. So, yeah. But obviously Orlando's in our time zone, so I can not be as frustrated. Mm-hmm. Versus the Jazz are playing at 9:00, and I stay up till 11:30 to watch us get our ass whooped. So yeah. But back to the Magic though. Mm-hmm. We hold the number 1 overall pick. It's a long time coming, long time overdue. Orlando, man, pure Magic together. I'm super excited. Who do you think the Magic should take with the number 1 overall pick? Even though you're not a Magic fan, I want to hear your thoughts.
Paolo Banchero, however you say his last name. He is the most complete player in this draft to me. He reminds me a lot of Jason Tatum. He can put the ball on the ground. He can dribble. He can play make a little bit. He can defend as well. So he's going to get better. Duke. Yeah, he's going to get better over time when it comes to defense. He's 6'10". Like I said, he has a mid-range. He can drive to the basket, and he can shoot a 3 really well. He reminds me so much of Jason Tatum. He can translate to the I think he's more so a 3. He's a big 3, which is, there's a bunch of big 3s out there. KD, Paul George. Paul George is like 6'8", 6'9". Yeah. Actually, Paul George is the 2. But I think he's going to be very good on the next level. I think the Orlando Magic desperately need a wing. They have not been able to get an elite wing out the draft and free agency. The last time they had a wing, they had to convert him. It was Aaron Gordon.
Yeah, and I mean, even J.I. just could never stay healthy.
J.I. can't stay healthy. Aaron Gordon was inconsistent. And who else they had before? I mean, they had Hedo Turkoglu in the past, but he was a point forward.
Yeah.
Now, they never had a guy that could
Aaron
really...
Aflalo.
Yeah, and in my opinion, I believe this league is still, built through the wings. You need a good wing to have any type of, playoff aspirations, right?
Yeah.
So... bringing in Paolo will be very good for them. I like Jabari Smith. He reminds me of a very skilled power forward, right? He's very, very skilled. He can dribble. He can get his shots up. He can shoot at a very high clip.
Much better shooter than the others.
Yeah, he's definitely the best shooter in this draft, in my opinion. Well, for the 4 position.
Right.
I don't know any guards, really. But, yeah. And then you have Chet, who I think, if he can turn his game into something, he could really be a Dirk Nowitzki type, but a better rim protector. If he can channel his offensive game, because he can shoot a 3-ball pretty good. Mm-hmm. He's not the most skilled scorer, but he's 7 foot and he's just taller than everybody else. So, but in the league, there's a lot of 7-footers in the league, or 6'11" guys, 6'10" guys that can defend.
You'll always take size when you can get it.
Exactly, and you need to get a little more weight on. You're like 190 right now, so he could probably get up to 210.
We need 215, something like that.
But the Magic do not get. I don't care about the Jalen Suggs connection. I know they both played at Gonzaga. They didn't play together, but
I know what you mean.
But they have the Gonzaga connection.
Exactly.
I'm pretty sure they ran a bunch of rec games together and stuff like that. But I don't care. You get Paolo, the Magic need a wing, and I think Paolo he's a franchise changer, bro. He can be a face of the league.
Yeah.
And the Magic haven't had that since Dwight Howard, and it's very much capable it can happen because you've seen it twice with Dwight Howard and Shaq.
Yeah.
So Yeah. And for the fans out there, NBA fans saying that the Orlando Magic don't deserve the #1 pick, it sounds like a bunch of haters, dog. Like
it really is.
Like what's wrong with the Magic finally getting good again or being consistent? Like,
yeah. Plus, it's Orlando, Florida, man. Like bro, it's not like with all due respect, it's not like it's Memphis.
Yeah,
like,
yeah,
come on, bro.
Yeah, you know
or
what
it's
I'm
like
saying?
not New Orleans.
Bro, like
it's Orlando.
There's nothing wrong with seeing the times change. And Orlando used to be a very, very sound team.
Yeah,
they were in the playoffs every year. They had the #1 seed.
Yeah. We should be a higher market. Orlando should have no problem attracting players. Like, forget that we've been a bad franchise the last decade, basically, since Howard's departed. But like, no state income tax, warm weather. You live in the state of Florida, and you got a historic franchise that's had some relative success.
Yeah, they've been to 2 finals.
Yeah,
with a lot of teams can't say that.
Penny, Shaq, Dwight, Hito, Rashad Lewis, like a lot of
They made
and they've only been a team since the 90s.
They made multiple deep playoff runs. You know what I'm saying? They've had an all-star.
Jordan.
Yeah, they beat Jordan.
Yeah,
when he had 45 and they came back off the baseball stuff. Like, you know what I'm saying? This team has a lot of history. The Magic are going. Their fans. They got some.
They do have some good
hardcore fans
down in Orlando, not here in Jackson.
When I went to the Warriors game in Orlando, like, those fans were cheering like they won the championship when they beat us. Like, them fans really pull out, man.
And I went to the playoff game a couple of years back in 2019. Well, it was 2018, 2019. That was the 2019 playoffs when the Magic played the Raptors. I was there at Game 3. T. Ross hit a half-court shot at the buzzer. But I was like, man, bro, I got to see the eventual champs, man. I got to see Kawhi and Fred VanVleet and Pascal Siakam, who I thought was a fraud. A fraud at first.
Yeah. One of them playoff frauds that turned out to be something. You better watch out, dog.
But it's different, though. But Orlando, so I was talking to Darian about this earlier. I was like, man, I haven't seen enough of Palo in order to make my guess. And I Magic fans, I have not made my final verdict yet, right? I'm just going to kind of give a little bit of what I know and what I've seen. I haven't seen enough of Chet yet, too. I've seen a lot of Jabari Smith because SEC, I'm a big Gator fan, too, plus, like, SEC, you know. So I've seen a lot of Jabari. Right now, I would say Jabari, but I haven't seen enough of Chet and Palo to make my, guess or my assumption on that. And I'll be doing a lot more, like, breakdowns, and I'll also be posting videos on the Magic on my YouTube. But Jabari's the best shooter between those guys as of right now. I think he was 43, 42%, I think, at Auburn last season, if memory serves me correct, too. Plus, I think
he's clipping it, too.
And the athleticism. And I'm not saying these guys aren't, but I see it, especially in the fast break, in the open court.
Yeah.
I can see Jalen Suggs. I can see Cole Anthony running in transition, feeding these guys with Franz who can dribble the ball and have the ball in the half-court offense, too. And I think that the size and potential is there for all of these guys, too, from Chet, from Paolo, and from Jabari Smith as well, too. So I'm not going to be mad whoever the Magic want to take between those 3 guys. But if they do want to go Chet, I honestly wouldn't even be mad either, too, just because, think about it. You get a 7-footer. You get Bol 7'2", J.I. 6'11", Mo Bamba's 7 feet tall.
It sounds like in the past, though, they've always had guys that's been, like, very tall.
And
it didn't translate.
But dude, you put 4, 5, 7 footers out there, man. Like,
y'all had that.
I'm just saying, like, and I'm not even gonna bank on Bol because I haven't seen Bol do anything in the NBA since he's came in. But I'm just now that he's been with the team, he's had a season. He didn't really play with the Magic this year. He just sat on the bench. But I'm just saying, hey, maybe he's got some time to get acclimated.
All I gotta say is, if you have that many 7-footers, someone needs to be able to put the ball on the ground and really be a unicorn.
Bamba?
No.
Yes.
You
don't watch enough Magic games.
I've watched him enough.
Yeah. I watch him. But Bamba
Bamba's cool. Like, he can hoop, but like, he's
Bamba
not a unicorn.
He's probably our best 3-point shooter. I'm being dead serious. He's probably our best 3-point shooter.
That's pretty bad. That's why you need a wing guy that can.
So, like a Jabari Smith?
I'm not putting Jabari at the 3, though. He's a 4.
We'll see. Because the thing is, they always put Wendell at the 4 and they put Bamba at the 5. Or, they'll put Bamba as a stretch 4.
Bamba's cool. Don't get me wrong. It takes a while for big men to develop. Don't get me wrong. It definitely does. It takes about 3 to 4 seasons for a big man to really see what he is. Wendell Carter in his 4th season or 5th season, he's a walking double-double.
Yeah, and obviously Bamba was playing behind Vooch all those years before this year.
Yeah, so, no. Get a wing. I'm not saying they shouldn't get Jabari. I wouldn't be mad at Jabari, but
yeah, I'd be happy with any 3 of those guys. But I need to do a lot more research. I need to go a lot more in depth with those other guys.
I do. I'm looking at the Pistons. They're kind of like in ugly place.
Are they at 4?
They're 4.
No, they're Sacramento's at 4. I think.
Sacramento's at 4, yeah.
Detroit's at 3. OKC's at...
No, Rockets at 3.
Rockets at 3. Yeah, so wait, are they at 5? Because Sacramento's at 4.
5, yeah.
Wow, that's tough.
Yeah, so they're going to get the... But hope Jaden Ivey falls. They could possibly get Jaden Ivey.
We'll see.
But no, they got Cade. So
I was gonna say they got Cade, so I don't know. We'll see. I got to do a lot more with the draft. College basketball's a lot harder for me to keep up with.
OKC gonna be happy no matter what. They gonna get either Palo or Chet.
Yeah.
Or Jabari, so they don't matter. So
no, they're gonna be happy regardless.
But I hope the Magic. I mean, it'll just be good for them, man. Like they never had like anytime they've hit the head on the nail when they drafted number 1. They got 2 phenomenal future Hall of Famer players.
Take us to the finals.
Already a Hall of Famer.
Yeah.
Future Hall of Famer in Dwight. I think he, no matter what, I don't care. He's the most dominant.
He should be
big.
top 75.
He's
which I don't know
most dominant big in the 2010s and stuff like that. He was crazy. Yeah. I mean, I think they're gonna get another one in Palo. So
yeah, we'll see. So whoever the Magic take, I mean, I'm excited, but I'll definitely be chopping up the Magic talk at the end though. But yeah, Darian, good podding today, man. Because we got a lot out. We talking Pat Bev, we talking Harden.
Yeah, man.
Talking conference finals, man. So hopefully your Dubs pull out and get the win.
Hopefully.
By the time that you guys will be seeing this podcast, man.
Game
1, it'll be getting ready for game 2.
Yeah.
It'll be getting ready for game 2 on Friday. So we'll see.
I want to ask a few questions though.
What's up?
All right, so Kyrie is another player that could be possibly testing for agency this offseason. I wouldn't be surprised if he does. And I just brought it up earlier, and I'm actually going to be rooting for this to happen. If Kyrie does hit free agency, I would love to see him with the Phoenix Suns because I think that'd be a great replacement for Chris Paul. So
yeah, like I said, for 30 games,
he'd be able to play every game. Phoenix.
I'm saying,
and then also on the league, I'm pretty sure the mandate gonna get lifted next year.
No,
bro.
I didn't say nothing about no mandate.
It's not just him being out.
Yeah,
I don't think so though.
Nah, yeah. Maybe I'm lowballing 30. Maybe I'll give him 40 if I'm being nice. But Kyrie,
I think he plays at least 50 to 60 games next year.
He got to show me he's willing to play 50. No.
If he's injured, barring any injury, he's gonna play.
Yeah. Okay.
But
okay.
I would love to see Kyrie and Devin Booker team up. That'd be crazy. That'd be a crazy backcourt.
I think it would be too in a perfect world.
Yeah. Where would you? I know you have your disdain about Kyrie, but if Kyrie were to lead the Brooklyn Nets, where would? Because that's another player you're kind of like, damn, where would he go? What would you think?
Well, does Kyrie want to try to compete for a championship because he's already got one, or does he? So it can't just be any team.
Can't be any team. He's an all-star player. He's gonna want to go to the championship level team. Reunited with LeBron?
Mean, really? No, that's not happening.
Mm-hmm.
I keep bringing up Minnesota. I know they got D'Lo, but I mean, I really.
That'd be cool.
I mean, Minnesota.
How about Denver? They put Jamal at the 2. Let him play the 2.
Denver would be good too. I was thinking about Denver, but I was like, they have Murray and he's coming back, and they invested a lot of money.
I'll put Murray at the 2.
And they're gonna have to obviously pay Jokic. So
yeah, that's true.
That's two guys on the team. It's. I really don't think he stays in Brooklyn.
Me neither. I don't think
Sean Marks don't want him. That team don't want him, honestly. KD's the only one that wants him there. Let's just keep this real. Yeah. So
he's gone.
I don't know where Kyrie goes, and if he wants to go to Phoenix, I think in a perfect world that sounds great. I think when on the court, that's going to be a great backcourt, one of the best backcourts in basketball. Question is, how often are we going to get that? And I don't think it's going to be as often as people think. Kyrie has to show me that he is going to play 60 games in a season before I give him any flowers.
Yeah,
I know, dude. I know this guy can give me 60 any night he wants. That's not a problem. I know he's a top 15 player. He's one of the best point guards in the game. Show me you're actually willing to go and play on the court. Why is Nike taking away his deal? Because what has he done? He's not played enough. You're not selling my product if you're not out there displaying my product. So that's my beef, quote unquote, with him. Great player otherwise, though.
Okay. What about Donovan Mitchell? You've been really quiet about the Utah Jazz and Donovan Mitchell, man. I really don't. Trade this offseason?
No, I don't think so. And I'm not. It's hard for me to not be biased, but even if I'm really taking a deep breath and I just try to just be transparent, I don't think so. I mean, he just signed his SuperMax, $190 million last offseason, and the fact that he knows he has blame. He knows he's not blameless. I'm not saying he's the reason why the Jazz completely had a downfall, but he knows he's not blameless. And I do think that he wants to continue to stay in Utah. I think he's going to pull a Damian Lillard. I'm not saying he's going to stay there for his entire career, but I don't think he's just up and out of there like that. This is only his 5th season.
Did they make any big moves? They move on from Rudy this offseason?
I still don't think so. I think they're going to trade any name that's not Donovan Mitchell or Rudy Gobert. I think that they're going to be willing to move any piece that's not those two names.
I think Clarkson's definitely gone this offseason for sure.
I think if they're Clarkson's not gone if they get a big piece, unless they get a big piece. A big piece, I mean all-star caliber.
He could have been gone at the deadline. I heard Phoenix was looking for him.
Yeah, Utah wasn't going to trade Clarkson though, but I think Utah will be willing to move any player but Donovan Mitchell or Rudy Gobert this offseason. I don't think one of those two comes. I know Rudy's not going to come out and ask for a trade. Sure, is it much more of a likely possibility Donovan does? Yes, but I don't think Donovan comes out and asks for a trade. I genuinely don't believe that.
I can see Donovan going to New York. He's from that area, you know.
He doesn't want to go play for the Knicks. I'm just going to keep it real. That's not even just me being like, oh, ha, ha. No, like, he doesn't want to.
From that area.
It doesn't. Okay. I wholeheartedly believe he would rather have his money and the little bit of legacy that he's already built in Utah and continue to build on that.
Yeah.
On an actually stable organization that's actually functional and is actually competitive every single year versus I just want to go play for my hometown.
Ain't nothing like going back home, man, putting on. Not many.
If I played in the NBA and I lived up in Minnesota, if I lived in Utah, like obviously context matters, but if I had the opportunity to go play for Orlando, because that's my hometown basically, bro, yeah, I'd be up and out of there. But context matters too, you know what I'm saying? Donovan is at a point in his career where he's really still entering his prime. He's not trying to go to New York with nothing there.
They have something.
No, they don't.
They have RJ.
Stop lying.
They have RJ. They have Julius. They have.
Okay, are any of those guys and any of those coaches, and is that organization as stable as Utah? Danny Ainge, Ryan Smith, Dwayne Wade, Rudy Gobert, forget Quinn Snyder for a moment, but Quinn Snyder's been a model of consistency the last 7 years. He's been in the playoffs, okay? So don't even talk to me about the Knicks. Unless the only argument you make for the Knicks is big market, homecoming. That's it. If you're talking basketball and you're talking functional, that's the last place on earth any basketball player wants to go. So I'm not trying to hear the Knicks.
But someone got to do it, man.
KD and Kyrie didn't want to do it.
Yeah, but KD and Kyrie. I bet
Kyrie didn't want to do it.
I bet KD and Kyrie better wished they would have went.
KD, that wouldn't have changed nothing.
Yes, it would have. You know how that deep that team would have been?
Still would have been their team. Mandate still would have been there.
It would have been there, but guess what? They would have been. They would have had Julius. They would have had KD.
No, they didn't would have had Julius, bro.
Yeah, they would have.
No, because do you know why they signed Julius? Because they missed out on KD.
Oh, that's right. So they would have had KD. They would have Kyrie. They would have had
DeAndre Jordan.
What pick the Knicks had that year? Oh yeah, they
had 3 after.
They had 3. Yeah,
they had 3 because they had RJ.
I don't think
they would have had RJ.
I don't think they would have got RJ if they would have had Kyrie.
Yeah, so it's a moot point, man. Like Donovan's not going to New York, bro. I'm just keeping it real. At least not this year.
Yeah.
Maybe later in his career he might, but he's not going to New York. Yeah. If he's gonna trade, if he's gonna ask for a trade, or the Jazz are gonna trade him this offseason, which God please don't, but if that happens, dude, he's going to a team that's actually gonna be competitive. The Knicks are not a competitive basketball.
So where would you
team.
see him going?
I really don't know off the top of my head. Yeah. Miami
I heard Miami
perfect,
too,
but they're not. They don't have any pieces that's gonna fit. So no.
What do you mean, like he wouldn't fit in that team?
Well, like with Jimmy, like sure, but what I'm saying is like, what are they gonna give up? They're not gonna give up Tyler Hero and a bunch of other pieces.
I think they
Plus,
would.
Utah doesn't want. They're gonna want something that's.
Tyler Hero in Utah is perfect, man. You know they got the white boys.
I like Tyler Hero, but like, look, I don't know, bro. I actually don't think they're gone this offseason. I think they're gonna trade anybody, but Donovan Mitchell and Rudy Gobert.
Okay.
Unless Donovan comes out and says I want to trade, but I don't foresee.
Well,
it
depends what happens with the coaching too,
think,
because the coach, if Quinn Snyder does leave, a new coach comes in, he can do whatever he wants. He'll have a different say on what he wants.
Donovan's gonna get a say in it. That's not a problem. That wouldn't even be a question. Danny Ainge, Dwayne Wade, and Ryan Smith would double down and say, dude, if Donovan doesn't want this guy, they're not getting this guy. Doesn't mean Donovan gets all the say, but
yeah,
they're not.
He has a good voice in that team.
Of course, bro. He's been the franchise guy since he walked in that door in 2017. He took over that team as a rookie. Yeah.
Yeah.
So yeah, that's where I'm at with it.
All right. So my next question, and probably my last one. I want to talk about Damian Lillard. You brought him up a little while ago, just talking about the whole like comparing Donovan Mitchell if he would have stayed.
I think Donovan's gonna pull a Dame right now.
Yeah.
As of now.
So Dame, was at the lottery last night, and they ended up getting the 7th overall pick.
Right.
He looked pretty sad.
He was pretty upset.
The grind looked like it's coming down to an end. So he's already talked about in Q&As how he would love to play with Giannis. He would love to play with.
It's funny. I brought that up a couple of years ago.
Who else? He said someone else too. Oh no, and Levine's talked about
going to Portland.
And
I was just in Portland. Beautiful little city, by the way.
So do you think this is the last Dame is gone this offseason?
No.
I think he is, man.
I think Dame stays a Portland Trailblazer, retires a Portland
that's
Trailblazer.
Ridiculous.
Rip City.
Bro, if even Clyde left, you know?
he had his opportunities.
Bro, I think
he had his opportunities to leave.
I think this offseason, I mean, they're going to be bad again next year,
man. They're going to be bad. I agree.
There's nothing he can do.
I know.
It's hard. I mean, he gonna be like Steph Curry out there having to go for 60. Be top 3, win the scoring title, finish top 3 in MVP, and get knocked out the play-in, dog. Yeah. And this team is probably worse than that Warriors team. Because I mean, they have enough money to make some moves, of course.
I know Anthony Simon's gonna do his thing.
Yeah, Simons is cool, man. But like,
Nurkic
might be going this offseason. So I think he could request a trade, man. I think I'm still banking on the Celtics not making it to the finals, and possibly, you know what I'm saying, they can trade for Jaylen Brown and have Simons and Brown run the show, and you put Lillard with Jason Tatum.
You think Brown go to Portland? You saying Simons go to Boston?
No. Brown and Simons take over Portland. Dame gets traded to the Boston Celtics.
Wow, that would be interesting.
That'll be a fun little move.
I don't see Dame coming out and saying I want to trade. I don't see that. I don't. Bro. That's just where I'm at with it. Nothing against the city of Portland or nothing. It's just literally just I think Dame wants to be loyal, and I got nothing wrong with that. If he wants to be, well, damn it, I respect that because ain't nobody in this game is loyal.
I respect loyalty as well, but you gotta start. You gotta win, man. It's looking crazy. You lost your partner in crime.
Dame will retire probably a top 75 player by the end of his career.
He will. He's already top 75. I'm pretty sure I'm pretty sure that you ain't gonna get booted out. I think all the guys.
Is he already top?
Yeah, he made it this year. Yeah.
He did. Okay, so yeah, and deservingly so. I honestly think deservingly so. So, Dame going drafted a Trailblazer. You're going to retire a Trailblazer. You're going to stay a Trailblazer.
I think he is gone this offseason. That's my hot take. That he is. You got to go, bro. Like, I saw his reaction last night. He know what time it is, man.
Trust me, I saw it.
Because if they would have had top 4, okay, cool. Like, maybe you can bring in
even top 3. Like,
top 3. Maybe you can get Jabari, right? You, Dame, Simons, that would have been cool, but he's gone, man. Like,
we'll see.
Who you gonna pick at 7?
I wouldn't be mad. I respect whatever decision he makes. But
if I'm the Blazers, I'm like, okay, I want to package up Damian Lillard to Boston for Jaylen Brown, or somehow, some way.
You really want Jaylen Brown all by himself though?
With Simons, that'd be cool, bro.
I get it. We'll see.
Tickets, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Compete, have fun.
I saw some tickets to the Moda Center.
Maybe you might build something, right?
Yeah.
Young.
You got to start somewhere. Even if
Dame is 30, you know what I'm saying? Coming off of a bad back injury.
This was like years and years ago. This was like, I'm just throwing a number there. I want to say like 2016, 17. They asked, like, it was either like on Facebook or on Twitter. They asked like, hey Dame, like, you could go play for one other team, like opposite side of Portland. Even though he's always said, I want to stay in Portland. Yeah, but I want to play in Utah. He did say that because he also went to Weber State, tiny little school out there, and but also he's really close with Donovan Mitchell. So I'm not saying that, but like, bro, if Utah's willing to move everything and they want to go compete, first of all, Donovan and Dame are very good friends. Plus, you keep Rudy Gobert. If you're able to
move Rudy be gone.
I don't think they'd have to move Rudy. I think that they would be able to give up, like, let's say, like a James Harden-esque trade, where you give up 2 first-round picks, you give up 2 role players like a Clarkson and a Bogdanovich. Maybe you even give up another guy in Mike Conley too. There you go. That I think might be you pushing it. But let's say you gave up let's say you gave up a Mike Conley, a Bogdanovich, and 2 picks. That is, I think, fair compensation for getting a guy in Dame who wouldn't want to be there anymore. Your hands are kind of tied behind your back. Give up a pick or 2.
Oh yeah, for sure.
So I'm saying that connection right there, and they would be title contenders. Yeah. So, but I'm not even gonna fantasize about that right now.
Yeah.
I just don't that as because I know he said I'll Google it later.
Yeah.
He said he would play in Utah before.
Yeah. Get Dame out of Portland, dog. The grind's over, bro.
Dame make his own decision. Let him stay in Portland if he wanna. But let him stay in Portland if he wanna.
Getting too old, man.
I'd love to see him on I'd love to see him in like a finals. I'd love to see him in a finals. It ain't happening in Portland, but I'd love to see it happen.
He might not. He's not getting to the playoffs next year, bro. With the way this team constructed.
Yeah, we'll see though. But hey, man, great podding today. Good NBA talk, man. Good NBA slate. Hopefully, everything continues to stay up and running smoothly because we got some exciting things coming to the channel in these next couple of weeks as well. But yeah, man, best of luck to your Warriors, man. These next couple of games, man. Hopefully, by the time we get to the next podcast, everything's up and good.
Oh, man, I got a nasty narrative, boy, if Steph Curry get to this finals and wins it all, man. Oh, I'm going to be unruly on this damn platform. All platforms, I'm going to be on all the talk. I
know, man. Hey,
we one step closer. Let's get it, man.
Yes, sir. But, hey, man, we'll get some good podding in the next week, just like we did this week, too. Got another full slate of NBA probably next week as well, too. But we'll get there when we get there. But thank you guys again for tuning in to another episode of the Don't Overthink It podcast. Catch you guys next week, and don't overthink it.